Hi, this is Sri from Techie Talks AI. I am adding a series of videos on a very interesting library called Agno. Actually, Agno is our familiar PhiData. These series of videos will go over all the examples. There are a number of examples that Agno gives, which are very handy because very often when we have an AI automation agency, we will want to do different tasks, and when we actually want to do, we need to have ready examples to pick from. Please use these videos as a ready reference examples. The things that we will do is, we will run the Agno PhiData examples one by one. We will understand what they are meant to do, and then we will also convert it into a practical, visible Streamlit application, because all the examples that Agno PhiData gives are based on command line, which are not really useful if you want to showcase these examples to our clients. So we will see how we can encapsulate these examples as Streamlit application, and we will also see how we can stream the data, which is not very clear from the Agno examples. So this is the Agno's new website, and this library is model agnostic. That is, you can use it with DeepSeek, of course, OpenAI and Gemini and all other models. This library is free to use, but they are planning to have pro versions with additional monitoring, evaluations, etc. For these examples, free library is what we need. You don't need to pay anything. And everything that you need to run this is available in the GitHub of Techie Talks AI. The link is in the description. Okay, so let's get started. So this is the Agno cookbook. If you visit this Agno repo, you will find a folder called cookbook, and there we have getting started. So we will go over these examples one by one, and in this video we will focus on just the first example. The reason is, we will run it in the command line as it is meant to be used, but we will also see what it takes to encapsulate it as a Streamlit application. Okay, so this is how the finished Streamlit application is going to look like, and we can choose any of these questions or anything about New York, because this is the New York Reporter agent. So let's wait for the agent to complete, and remember, this is not streaming. Okay, so a squirrel walks in Central Park. It's nuts. Okay, so now let's turn the stream on and see what happens. See, when you turn the stream on, you will see the response coming live. Instead of having the user wait for the entire response, you can get a live update. Okay, so this is the streaming option. So we will see how we can build such an agent using Streamlit as the UI. First, let's look at the repo of Agno AGI and basic agent. This example shows how to create a basic agent with a distinct personality. Okay, we will create a fun news reporter that combines New York attitude with creative storytelling. Okay, now here we have the imports. This is using OpenAI. We will see how to use Gemini or DeepSeek. Okay, so here we are defining the model, and then here we are giving the instructions for this news agent. So we are creating the agent object. Okay, and then in order to run and get the response in the command line, we use this agent.print response and tell me about a breaking news story happening in Times Square. Now, how do we run it? Using Python you can run it, but I don't use Python on my desktop because unnecessarily I don't want to create an environment and install all the libraries. Best thing is to use Docker. So I have already created everything that you need to use Docker to run this application. All that you need is clone the repo URL that is given. So git clone come to any empty folder and git clone the URL that is given in the description, and then you will have a folder Techie-Talks AI like this, and come into Agno folder, and there you will find 001 basic agent. Then from here, all you need to do is docker compose run, because this is a command line example that we are running, run app. Okay, tell me about a breaking news story happening in Times Square. Okay, it is thinking. Here we got the command prompt back. Okay, so we have the prompt that we gave to this news reporter agent, and then we have the output. So this is a very small agent example. Now, how I am converting this into a Docker is like this. In this folder, I have this script copied from Agno website. So I have added a couple of lines to load the API key. I have the API key saved in .env file. What you need to do is edit this env.example file and put your API keys and rename this file as .env. Okay, so that is the way to run the command line application. Now what we're going to do is the same app.py I have converted as a Streamlit application. We will see how we run the Streamlit application, and then we'll go over. So same Docker Compose file. If you look at the Docker Compose, you will notice that it has got the app service. That is what we ran, which runs the Python app.py as it is, using Python without using Streamlit. But if you run this service app.st, okay, it will start Streamlit application. So how do we run it? Docker Compose up app-st. Okay, so application is running in the foreground. Let's refresh this. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so here is the response. I have also added on the left sidebar some sample queries so that you know how or what to ask this agent. But in addition, I have also added queries processed and a stream checkbox. So if you, like we saw earlier, if you enable stream, the response will come chunk by chunk in real time, which could be more interesting to the user, which could be more engaging to the user, because user need not have to wait. So that is what we are going to see now, how this is done. So now if you see here, queries processed 308. Okay. Another news. See here, these are actually chunks returned by the agent, 390. But if you remove the stream, you'll see that it waited for the agent to complete the task and then responded. So that it ran this script only twice. So let's see how this is done. So this is the app.st, and initial lines you can ignore. I am using OpenAI chat here. If you want to use, say, DeepSeek, all you need to do is use DeepSeek and then change the model to DeepSeek. Okay, so here model. Let's see the difference. This is using DeepSeek. See, you notice the speed difference of each streamed response. OpenAI is much faster. Okay, but of course DeepSeek is extremely cost effective. So let's now go over this script from top. Of course, this is title, message below the title. Okay, so that is title and message below, and then the left we have these messages on the sidebar. Okay, and we have also added a placeholder to show the queries processed or chunks received. So counter placeholder is where we will write the number of responses received, and we will initialize the counter. If it is not already present, we will reset it to 0. Okay, and we increment the counter here, and we write the queries processed. It can be chunks received also, the message. Okay, we are adding a checkbox stream. We will see where we are using that. Okay, and this is where we define the model. This is taken from the Agno website itself, where we are passing the instructions. And then here we are getting the text input, Streamlit text box, where you can type your question. And here we have the placeholder text. This is the text above the text box, which acts as the label and help. Okay, now if the user types the prompt and presses enter key, Streamlit application will run again from top to bottom, and at that time the prompt will be filled in with the user's input. So we reset the counter to 1. Because every prompt we are resetting the counter to see how it works. Now here, if stream is selected, we follow this. If stream is not selected, we get the entire response without streaming. Okay, so this portion is without streaming, and here we have the handling of streaming. So what we are doing is we are creating a response stream variable with the type as an iterator containing the response returned by the agent run. So every time agent returns a chunk, this iterator objects, so every time agent returns a chunk, this iterator object saves one element in this response stream. And then we loop through the response stream here and also increment the counter and display the query processed. That way we will know how many chunks come. And here you will notice that we have the moving cursor that gives a nice UI experience. So let's see what this is. Let's refresh. Okay, so if you press, you will notice that it is getting the response, and see here the cursor is moving the last block. So it looks as if it is typing out the response. That is this basic agent demo of Agno. One by one we will go over each of these demo examples. So just watching this itself will show you how it works, but you will also learn how you can put it in Streamlit wrapper to make it a presentable application. So that is it for this video. Thank you for your time. Please give your valuable comments, and please like, share and subscribe, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.